Then a person turns away from Salafiyyah because we are arrogant in the way that we give da'wah. We are rude. We are ill-mannered. We don't know how to talk. We don't distinguish between the one who is older than us by many years and the one who is younger than us. We don't know how to show mercy to the young, and we don't know how to give honor to the elder ones. And we speak to them as if they are nobody, as if we have everything and you have nothing. If they get turned away from Salafiyyah because our actions, then we are responsible. How many of an occasion that I have seen that a person has come and he has said, Wallahi, I love the precepts and the tenets of Salafiyyah, but I had a bad experience. Someone was talking to me and then he became rude with me and he belittled me as if I was nothing, as if I was filth and I was the most ignorant person of the earth. He didn't speak to me in the correct manner. But wallahi, I saw Shaykh Falah, or I saw Shaykh Al-Anjari, and I met Shaykh Ubaid. And then my heart became attached to Salafiyyah, because that is the Salafiyyah that I understood the Quran and Sunnah to be based upon. Or the Quran and Sunnah, that Salafiyyah is based upon that. This is what I understood. Be from the first group and not from the second group. If anyone gets turned away from Salafiyyah due to your bad manners, then know that you may be responsible for bearing the burden of a part of a person's misguidance. Of course, their misguidance is in the hands of Allah, and because they chose misguidance ultimately. But if you were partly responsible for that, then you have to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and take that responsibility. And be assured, my brothers and sisters, that the Salafi Marakis in the United Kingdom, that they are united. And I can name them to you. I can name to you Darus Sunnah in Shepherd's Bush. I can name to you Masjid al-Sunnah in Cromford. I can name to you Markaz Mu'ad bin Jabal in Slough. I can name to you our brothers in Reading who have now set up a Markaz and a Masjid. I can name to you our brothers in Stoke, Masjid Furqan. I can name to you our brothers in Bradford, the Markaz and the bookstore and the Masjid Al-Basira. I can name to you our brothers in Bristol who have established their da'wah, walillahi alhamd. I can name to you our brothers in Cardiff under the guidance or under the direction of our brother Hassan al-Somali. I can name to you our brothers in Middlesbrough, all the way up on the northeast coast under the direction of our brother Abu Iyad Amjad Rafiq Hafidhullah. Our brothers in Manchester, Markaz al-Salafi, who have established the Dawah to Salafiyyah. Our brothers in East London, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve them and protect them and strengthen them. Our brothers at Al-Athariyah, the likes of Abu Umar and Awzan and other than them. Our brothers also in North London, in Tottenham, Abbas and other than them. That we are united. And maybe there's one or two I haven't mentioned because of the weakness of my memory. Our brothers in Sheffield, walillahi alhamd, present here today. All of these brothers and all of these Marakis united under Salafiyyah. Of course I haven't mentioned Masjid al-Salafi in Birmingham and Maktab al-Salafiyyah, but you already know that. That we are united and affiliated and we are working with each other. Maybe sometimes that we don't contact each other as much as we should. But nevertheless, even when we are absent from each other, that we defend each other's honor for the sake of Allah. Because we know nothing from each other except khair. We share our attachment to the Kitab and the Sunnah. Our attachment to the love of the manhaj and the aqidah, Salafiyyah. That we love our ulama and we are united around them. The likes of Shaykh Al-Fawzan and the likes of the Mufti Abdul Aziz and the likes of Al-Luhidan, the likes of Abdul Muhsin, the likes of Rabi' bin Hadi Al-Madkhali, the likes of Zayd Al-Madkhali, the likes of Muhammad ibn Hadi, the likes of Ubayd bin Abdullah Al-Jabari. Just mentioning the scholars of the kingdom, not to say that they are restricted. There are scholars outside of that also. For they are our ulama and other than them, that we are united around them and we love them. And our ruju' with regard to fatawa and with regard to rulings in the sharia is back to them. Is back to them. And we love them for the sake of Allah. And we love each other for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We avoid hasad and jealousy and envy that shaitan tries to plant in our hearts for each other. That we fight that with a jihad, ya ikhwan, against the nafs. So we do not have any jealousy and any envy and any rancor and any hatred between ourselves. That what we wish at Maktab al-Salafiyyah and Masjid al-Salafi in Birmingham, we wish for our brothers in Athariyah. We wish for our brothers in Slough, in Markaz Mu'ad. We wish for our brothers in Cardiff and Bristol and Sheffield and Bradford and Manchester. What we wish for ourselves, we wish for them. And the Salafiyyun, and I remember, and Abu Hakim will remember, that back in the early 90s, when the da'wah was more vague, and the connection to the scholars was less, there was no internet really in those days. Pal talk, what's Pal talk? You know, your computer was probably the size of this desk. You know, it was hard in those days. If you wanted to phone Saudi Arabia to ask a scholar a question, you better have £2 a minute to pay on a weak, crackly line. But nevertheless, our brother Abu Talha Dawood Burbank, hafidhahullah ta'ala, that he put an immense amount of effort in translating many of the fatwa of Ahlul Ilm, predominantly Sheikh Muhammad Nasiruddin Al-Albani and Sheikh Muqbil and some of the other mashayikh. And that for us and for the rest of the brothers was important. And some of the other brothers who were involved in the da'wah, even our brothers from the United States like Dawood Adib, Abu Uwais rahimahullah ta'ala, who died several years ago, that this effort that we are putting together for all of these years by the permission of Allah, by the grace of Allah, by the bounty and the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we are not ready to give that blessing up and open the pathway and the floodgates to iftiraq and splitting and separation amongst the Salafiyyun. We will fight against separation, and we will fight against those who wish to split our ranks. Unity of the ummah and unity upon the haqq is an asl from the usul of Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah. It's a foundation from the foundations of the Sunnah. Ahlul Sunnah does not allow division within its ranks. So those newcomers that have appeared upon the scene, who are there to cause disunity and separation, to carry tales and to carry the slips, or to exaggerate and to twist the meanings of words so as to cause enmity in the hearts between the Salafiyyun, that we say that there is no room for them and we will not give them an opportunity. These marakis are united, and they are united with our mashayikh and with our ulama. Rather, we are united with our brothers in the various parts of the world, whether it be in Saudi Arabia or Yemen or Kuwait or Egypt, whether it be in Morocco and in the rest of the lands of the Arab, or whether it be in the Western lands with our brothers from Sweden or Germany, and some of them are present here today, with our brothers from Belgium and France, and with our brothers in Canada like the likes of Troy, and our brothers in the United States, Masjid Muhammad bin Abdul Wahab of our brother Abu Hassan, who is the Imam there, or Masjid al-Bayan of our brother Kashif in Asbury Park in New Jersey, or our brother Abu Yusuf Khalifa in New York, or Anwar Wright, Hafidhahullah, from our brothers in Philadelphia, or our brothers as Masjid Ahlul Hadith in Philadelphia, and other than that from the various masajid, that we are united with them. And we want to send a clear message out to the brothers and sisters that you are not alone. When we first started da'wah, it's true. When I gave my first circle, or one of the first circles in Birmingham after I moved down from Manchester, that there must have been about 3 people sitting in the dars. And the brother said, is it worth continuing? I said, yes, it's worth continuing. How many people listen to Nuh alayhi salam? Not to say that we are prophets, but we take strength from the stories of the prophets. We take strength and we feel heartened by them. That is the call that is important, as long as you call to the haqq. 950 years he gave da'wah, and no more than a handful of people listened to him. But he continued and persevered for 950 years. Some of us give dawah for 6 months and we say, well, they're not listening. Khalas, I'm going to go and become a hermit in my house. 950 years. And this Nabiullah did not stop. 950 years he was under the command of Allah, giving da'wah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, when we gave the Eid khutbah, some of the early Eid khutbah that we gave in Birmingham, I would say possibly 20, on one occasion maybe 15 people from amongst the men, and maybe 5 or 6 sisters. When we first started the khutbah early in the 1990s, I remember the last 2 khutbah I gave, the last one I think Abu Hakim gave the one before. There was somewhere in the region of 4,000 people in Birmingham, in one place for the Eid khutbah. The vast majority of them upon Salafiyyah. The dawah can spread. No, we don't say it's about numbers. It's not about numbers. It's about quality over quantity. True. But a sign that when a person is speaking the truth, and he is upon the manhaj of the ulama, and he calls to the truth, and the hearts of the people are sincere, and the people listen to the da'wah, and then they enter into Islam, it brings joy to the heart. Why shouldn't it? That the ummah is being guided. Brings joy to the heart. I feel heartened when a man sits in my Friday dars, when we teach, and likewise our brother Abu Hakim, and likewise our brother Abu Talha, and likewise Hassan al-Somali in Cardiff, and Abu Iyad up in Bradford and Middlesbrough. And I've mentioned this to the brothers before, I feel heartened when a brother comes to the dars, clean shaven, and he's wearing the garments of the streets, as you would say. I say to him, how can you be heartened by that? I say, because someone has called him to the masjid and now he's listening to ilm. Maybe in a couple of weeks, couple of months, if we are patient with him and we treat him well and we teach him properly, this man now will come to the sunnah, and Allah will guide him to the sunnah and open up his heart and give him tawfiq. So now this man is a man of sunnah from a man of fisq. Allah protected him from Hizb Tahrir. Allah protected him from the Shia, from the Khawarij, from the manhaj of Osama bin Laden, from the da'wah of the Sufi and the Quburi and the grave worshippers. And Allah brought him to Salafiyyah. And I say to the sisters, if a woman comes and a sister comes to you, and she's not wearing the hijab as it should be worn, she's not wearing the abaya or the jilbab as it should be worn, do not be tough with her. Be easy with her. Because the norm in this society is nakedness. And that's what the people are used to, and that's the Muslimun. The kuffar, of course, that's their asal. They don't care what they wear, the vast majority of them. Right? Vast majority of them don't care. But when a Muslim sister comes to the dars, or comes to a conference like this, and you see that she is not adequately dressed, it's because maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she's not aware. Maybe she hasn't tasted the sweetness of the sunnah that you've tasted. So be easy with her. Be polite with her. Exchange contacts with her. Contact her. Maybe she needs something. She needs knowledge. She needs information. Treat these people good. Wallahi ya ikhwan wa akhawat. Treat these people good who come and they have not understood, or they are new to Salafiyyah. They're clean shaven. They're wearing the garments of this. Be good to them, because they've come here for a purpose. They want to learn. And what they don't want to see is bad manners. What they don't want to see is your frowning and your anger in their faces. They've come here because something has brought them here. Allah has guided them. So aid them, help them. And it heartens me when I see that in front of me. You know, when I see the same faces of my Salafi brothers over and over again, of course, that is beloved to me. Because I know, alhamdulillah, they were on it last week, they're here still, here this week. They came to Sheikh Ubaid, or Sheikh Muhammad bin Hadi, or Sheikh Rabi's dars a couple of months ago. MashaAllah, they're here again. Our brother Firoz, our brother Marwan, the rest of the brothers that I can name. And they're here again, heartened, beloved to me, wallahi. But I also feel heartened when I see new faces. I feel heartened when I see a young boy or a young man or even an elder man come no beard, nothing. Why am I heartened? Do I love the fact that he's not upon the sunnah? No, I love the fact that he's here. I love the fact that his heart has been opened up. I love the fact that there's curiosity, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put something in his heart that brought him here. Now let's take on the responsibility that Allah has put on our shoulders. Let's treat them well. Let's invite them. Let's say, Akhi, I haven't seen you before. I haven't seen you before. Is there anything, that I can do for you? Is there anything that you need? Is there any information? Can I get you a CD? Can I get you something that will strengthen you? Is there any area of Islam that is confusing you? Like a brother came to me today. MashaAllah, one of the brothers brought him. And he said, this brother, he wants to know about Anwar al-Awlaki. Right? He said, I want to know about Anwar al-Awlaki, this takfiri, Khadeejah, terrorist. I want to know about him. So I said, rather than me telling you and giving you a full list that you may remember or may not remember, there's a book outside called The Rise of Jihadist Extremism in the West. Grab that book. There's a whole chapter of Anwar al-Awlaki in that, amongst others, and explaining the methodology of Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah. Easy. Someone comes to you like that, you know that maybe you don't have the ability to explain, or you don't have the time. Say, Akhi, come here, I'll buy you this. Buy it for him. Don't tell him, that's £6, just give me the money. Right, before I give you this knowledge, give me the money. Buy the book for the man. Buy the CD for the man or for the sister. Buy it for them. Because if they read it and benefit from it, who gets the reward? You do. You bought it. He's read it. He reads it once, you get a reward. He passes it on to someone else. He says, Khalas, I benefited from it. Let me give it to my mate who's always talking about how we should kill the Muslim rulers and rebelling. Let me give him that book. You bought it. He's read it. He's given it to his mate. He's given it to his friend who passes it on to his wife. His wife reads it, he reads it, a whole family is brought to Salafiyyah because of your £6 or £7 that you spent. Which is what? Doner kebab and chips? Is it not worth it, ya ikhwan? Spread this dawah to Salafiyyah with gentleness, with mildness, with kindness, with goodness, with generosity. Giving in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen you. Barakallahu feekum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower His pleasure and His mercy and His blessings upon you and upon the Salafiyyun. Barakallahu feekum. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.